If you have to put someone on a pedestal, put teachers. They are society's heroes. The duties of a teacher are neither few nor small, but they elevate the mind and give energy to the character. The best teachers are those who show you where to look, but don't tell you what to see. Better than 1,000 days of diligent study is one day with a great teacher. Your heart is slightly bigger than the average human heart, but that's because you're a teacher. Teachers can change lives with just the right mix of chalk and challenges. Teaching is the greatest act of optimism. One child, one teacher, one book, and one pen can change the world. Students, don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. It is not what is poured into a student that counts, but what is planted. Teachers have 3 loves: love of learning, love of learners, and the love of bringing the first 2 loves together. The art of teaching is the art of assisting discovery. Education doesn't just make us smarter, it makes us whole. Teaching kids to count is fine, but teaching them what counts is best. I am indebted to my father for living, but to my teacher for living well. A teacher affects eternity. He can never tell where his influence stops. I like a teacher who gives you something to take home to think about besides homework. I have learned silence from the talkative, toleration from the intolerant, and kindness from the unkind. Yet, strange, I am ungrateful to those teachers. A good teacher can inspire hope, ignite the imagination, and instill a love of learning. A teacher who is attempting to teach without inspiring the pupil with a desire to learn is hammering on cold iron. Good teachers know how to bring out the best in students. An investment in knowledge pays the best interest. Change is the end result of all true learning. Education is the passport to the future, for tomorrow belongs to those who prepare for it today. The roots of education are bitter, but the fruit is sweet. The more that you read, the more things you will know. The more that you learn, the more places you'll go. Live as if you were to die tomorrow. Learn as if you were to live forever. The learning process continues until the day you die. Education is not the filling of a pail, but the lighting of a fire. Develop a passion for learning. If you do, you will never cease to grow. Education is not preparation for life. Education is life itself. They know enough who know how to learn. Education is the ability to listen to almost anything without losing your temper or your self-confidence. They cannot stop me. I will get my education if it is in the home, school, or any place. Education is the most powerful weapon you can use to change the world. He who opens a school door closes a prison. Education is the ability to meet life situations. Learning starts with failure. The first failure is the beginning of education. Intelligence plus character, that is the goal of true education. Education consists mainly of what we have unlearned. If you have to put someone on a pedestal, put teachers. They are society's heroes. The duties of a teacher are neither few nor small, but they elevate the mind and give energy to the character. The best teachers are those who show you where to look, but don't tell you what to see. Better than 1,000 days of diligent study is one day with a great teacher. Your heart is slightly bigger than the average human heart, but that's because you're a teacher. Teachers can change lives with just the right mix of chalk and challenges. Teaching is the greatest act of optimism. One child, one teacher, one book, and one pen can change the world. Students, don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. It is not what is poured into a student that counts, but what is planted. Teachers have three loves: love of learning, love of learners, and the love of bringing the first two loves together. The art of teaching is the art of assisting discovery. Education doesn't just make us smarter, it makes us whole. Teaching kids to count is fine, but teaching them what counts is best. I am indebted to my father for living, but to my teacher for living well. A teacher affects eternity. He can never tell where his influence stops. I like a teacher who gives you something to take home to think about besides homework. I have learned silence from the talkative, toleration from the intolerant, and kindness from the unkind. Yet, strange, I am ungrateful to those teachers. A good teacher can inspire hope, ignite the imagination, and instill a love of learning. A teacher who is attempting to teach without inspiring the pupil with a desire to learn is hammering on cold iron. Good teachers know how to bring out the best in students. An investment in knowledge pays the best interest. Change is the end result of all true learning. Education is the passport to the future, for tomorrow belongs to those who prepare for it today. The roots of education are bitter, but the fruit is sweet. The more that you read, the more things you will know. The more that you learn, the more places you'll go. Live as if you were to die tomorrow. Learn as if you were to live forever. The learning process continues until the day you die. Education is not the filling of a pail, but the lighting of a fire. Develop a passion for learning. If you do, you will never cease to grow. Education is not preparation for life. Education is life itself. They know enough who know how to learn. Education is the ability to listen to almost anything without losing your temper or your self-confidence. They cannot stop me. I will get my education if it is in the home, school, or any place. Education is the most powerful weapon you can use to change the world. He who opens a school door closes a prison. Education is the ability to meet life situations. Learning starts with failure. The first failure is the beginning of education. Intelligence plus character, that is the goal of true education. Education consists mainly of what we have unlearned. On a pedestal, put teachers. They are society's heroes. The duties of a teacher are neither few nor small, but they elevate the mind and give energy to the character. The best teachers are those who show you where to look, but don't tell you what to see.
Good evening, everybody. Could you please confirm if I'm audible?
Yes, audible.
All right, thank you. Good evening once again. Thank you all for registering and attending this national level online faculty development program on outcome-based education and application of generative AI in teaching and research, jointly organized by the IQAC of Vasireddy Venkatadri Institute of Technology, Guntur, Andhra Pradesh, and the IQAC of Siddaganga Institute of Technology, Tumkur, Karnataka, in association with IPSR Solutions Limited. Today, we would like to welcome the two resource persons, Dr. Kamal Shah, Principal, St. John College of Engineering Management, SJCEM, Palghat, Maharashtra, and also Dr. Mendeshekar, Professor and Director, MCA Marine College, Kottakanam Autonomous, MD and CEO, IPSR Solutions Limited. And we would like to welcome all the participants of today. Now, about this FTP, this was a one-week FTP program with live session from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. And today will be the last day of our FTP. Now, fee for the LMS access and processing of certificate is rupees 400. All the participants who are paid the process fee will receive the LMS access, the video recordings for all the days, and provision to download your FTP completion certificate. Now, the procedure for receiving the certificate I will inform to you towards the end of today's session. Now, if any of you would like to receive the LMS access and the provision to download your certificate, you can make the payment of rupees 400 to the account details I've put in the chat already. If you were unable to attend any of the live sessions, they will be available in the LMS. Now, we have shared the LMS access details through email to those who have shared the payment proof in WhatsApp till yesterday. Those who have shared the payment proof in WhatsApp today will receive the LMS access details later in the day or by tomorrow. Now, if you have any trouble in attending the WebEx online session, you can also join the YouTube live session, the link of which I've put in the chat already. Use that link to join in the YouTube live streaming. Now, my name is Sujin Jacob George. I'm working as Global Relations Manager for IPSR Solutions Limited, and I will be the event moderator. Now, coming on to today's session, the first session will be the FDP first technical session. The topic will be outcome-based academic research. This is going to be delivered by Dr. Kamal Shah, ME, PhD, postdoc quantum computing, and who is also the principal of St. John College of Engineering and Management, SJCEM, Palghar, Maharashtra. Dr. Kamal Shah is the principal in charge of St. John College of Engineering and Management. She is also the trainer for AICT ATAL program, other faculty development programs. She has trained over more than 3,000 faculty to date on OBAR, NEP 2020, blockchain technology, and quantum computing. She has over 25 years of experience. She is the recipient of 20 Pragmatic Women of India Award. Over to you, ma'am. You need to unmute, ma'am. Please unmute. Ma'am, you're still on mute. Can you unmute and speak? Ma'am, if you're unable to unmute, just try logging off and logging back in. Then you will be able to do so. Ma'am, you're still on mute.
Hello, it's audible now.
Yeah, audible now.
So I have joined from another device, so audio is from that device.
Okay.
So sorry for that technical glitch. Now let us understand that what is this outcome-based academic research model. from last few days, like we are all learning the different methods of outcome-based education, advantage of that. But as a faculty, what I feel that the research component in our academic is slightly lagging, I would say, or not given so much of importance, because we feel as a faculty that teaching learning is our prime duty and research is a secondary. So in that way, like research is always on the back seat when, except when we do our PhD or we are guiding our PhD student, at that time it becomes slightly important. But normal assistant professor level, junior level, where the base of the pyramid is very wide, at that time research is slightly neglected. So this particular model has been designed where when we take our lectures or we take our academic delivery, at that time we can twin research within, and at the end of every semester we can achieve the desired outcome. So this is a framework which is designed by me, and then for any subject, whether it's a theoretical subject, mathematical subject, management type of subject, any subject, we can use this particular framework. So I'll show you with one example how we can do it. And then for your subject, you can design in that particular, there are steps to follow. And once we follow that step, we can design this particular model. So initially we will understand that how outcome-based academic research model can be designed. And then we will start implementing that with our own subject, our own student. And at the end of every semester, there will be some outcomes which you will cherish, like either it will be publication or patent or book or anything like which you have decided you will get at the end of every semester. So normally, as I said, when we are faculty, of any academic institute, normal perspective is what we take one particular subject of our interest every semester. So every semester, some subject of our domain, our interest is given to us. Then what the next step, what we do if we are a affiliated institute or we are an autonomous institute, immediately next step, what we do, we compare our syllabus with other institutions, our competitors, or some institute of national importance, or might be if we have some foreign university as a target, then we just check that what they are teaching, what we are teaching, what are the part of content. And then sometimes, like now, there are so many autonomous institutes, so many private universities, deemed universities. So everyone has become slightly conscious about the quality of teaching learning in their campus. So because of that, now even the subject teachers are checking that whatever content I'm delivering to the students, are that content useful for the placement or the higher studies or might be startup of the student. So now in that way, we are checking now Gartner's report, or might be every Wednesday that Ascent, lots of advertisements are coming. So now those kind of tools teachers are using to compare their content and enhance their content for teaching learning process. When we do this process, what happened? We identify the gap and we try to bridge this particular gap as a content beyond syllabus. So technical institutions, those who are going for NBA or NEC, we know that there is one particular portion of content beyond syllabus. Whenever some committee is coming, they are asking that what you are doing, how do you identify the gap? So as a faculty, we are doing this process. As a student, what they are doing when students come to the campus, their main focus is to learn theory, perform some of the experiments, learn some case studies. Then we arrange lots of seminars, expert talks for them. We register students even for some kind of MOOCs, might be from NAPTEL, SWAYAM. And then there are now state agencies also are offering lots of MOOCs. So students are registering on that and then they are enhancing their knowledge. And then at the end, they prepare for their placements and higher studies. So this is a normal cycle which goes on majority of the colleges. Now, when we see or when we want to talk about the research we feel it's a different vertical, like it to fit research into this usual process, it is slightly difficult, or I would say slightly challenging, because our mindset is set in that particular way that students will do this activity, teachers will do that activity. So, like teachers, whenever we ask, what do you understand, or what are you doing under research, or what is your research contribution? They will have a fixed path like PhD, publication, funds, winner in the competitions. But as an institute, if we observe like what institute want as a research perspective, all the institutions, they want to go for better NIRF ranking. All of us now, we want to implement NEP 2020 into successful manner, like whatever might be the components are there. We want that all the students should get the advantage of that. Institutes want their all programs should be NB accredited, NAC A plus grade. Now that 10 pointers have come. So we all want that as an institute, they have a different perspective. All the management, they want to go for autonomy, university status, whether deemed university, private university. Basically, that branding is required at the institute level, whereas faculty level, we are slightly restricted in our own silos. So when, as a thought process, when we think, there is a gap. What institute wants and what we are doing, there is a gap in between. So this gap now we want to bridge. But first of all, I just want to understand that whatever I have told till now, how many of you feel that there is a gap? Institute perspective is different and faculty and student perspective is slightly different. How many of us now we feel that there is a gap? Can anyone unmute and tell that is there any gap you feel? So do we feel there is a gap? Because institutes have a different level of expectations, and as a faculty, we are doing some routine activities, or might be we are enhancing our processes, but at the lower pace. So I feel that there is a gap, and how to bridge. Now there is a gap. So to bridge that particular gap, what we can do? So I'll share one example that in Australia, the ships are called merino ships. So they have a best quality of wool on their body, but the volume of that wool is very heavy. Like on the ship, that volume of wool, and because of that, the chances of having insects inside that wool or on the skin, bacterial infection to the ship is very high. So timely, periodically, all the ships should get that in that particular medicines for doing their disinfections. So whenever ship has to go to that process, when that medicine has to be applied onto their body, initially farmer used to make one huge pit. There will be that material of medicines, this bacterial material and all. And then ships were forced to go inside that pit, and then they used to pull them. So in this process, the ships were very uncomfortable. When we were forcing them, though it was for their betterment, they were feeling very uncomfortable. And then it was causing that psychological disturbance into them. After few runs, the people observed this and they have come out with the solution that let us make a road where ships are coming, the whole flock of ship is coming, and then they naturally goes inside the pit. And when they will come out, all the medicines will be there on their body. And then they don't realize also that this process is already done. So this approach is called the Kaizen principle, where the learner or might be the person going through the process doesn't feel the pain of it and the journey become enjoyable. So we also want to make faculty's journey inside our institute very enjoyable. Like whenever they come to institute, they should enjoy coming to the institute. They should not feel the pressure of doing the research. So this model is based on this Kaizen principle, where we will start bridging this gap, which is between the expectations of the management or the institutes or the university, or I would say in the broader sense, national expectations, and as a faculty, what we are doing. So using this Kaizen principle, where we are not forcing teachers for doing research, but we are achieving the final outcomes of research. For that, we have designed the outcome-based academic research model. So the suggested solution, how we can do it, now let us understand. Now there is one puzzle on the screen. Is that puzzle visible to all of us? You just have to find out a path where the penguins can reach to the fish, but just remember your approach. Your time starts now. You have 30 seconds. Okay. So in 30 seconds, solve this puzzle that penguin should reach to the fish. Just remember that what process you are taking to do the final results, like to reach to the final results. Done? Okay. Now, how many of you have started from penguin, the position of penguin, and start finding the path towards the fish? Can we get that hand raise here? Or might be in the chat box also, you can write, no problem. How many of you start from the penguin to the fish? Okay. And how many of you started from fish to penguin? Now, which one is faster? If anyone wants to unmute, they can unmute and tell. Which one is faster? Fish to penguin was faster or penguin to fish was faster? Which one is faster? According to me, from fish to penguin, because there is only one way. Okay, from penguin to fish, there are multiple ways which are blocked, but here there is only single way. So when we start from fish to penguin, the results are faster than the first approach. So same approach we are taking as a OBAR model. So why we are solving this puzzle or why that activity is given? Because outcome-based academic research model, that whole framework starts at the goal. Okay. So you have to decide your final goal or target, what you want to achieve as your research outcome at the end of the semester, and then work backward. So outcome-based academic research starts at the goal, then work backward to identify the steps, okay, required to achieve the preset goal. It is an incremental process linking one stage to the next stage. So now let us understand what this model is telling. But one thing is very clear, that this model will start only and only if you are setting your goal or a research target at the beginning of your semester. When you are taking the subject, when you are selecting the subject, Along with the subject, you have to set the goal. And throughout the semester, slowly, you will design your activities which will lead you to achieve the goal along with your colleagues, along with your students. So now let us see. So one thing we all should remember that outcome-based academic research is a model which starts from fish to penguin. Okay, not from penguin to fish. So now let us start the model. Any institute, wherever you are working, the institute have one vision. Okay. So the institute is seeing itself after 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 50 years, where institute wants to grow. So there is always a vision of the institute. Now the people working in the institute, what they do some activities, they align their activities to achieve the vision. So all the institutions activity, how to achieve that vision, whatever activities we do, we call it as mission. And then mission will have multiple ways of achieving. So M1, M2, M3, M4, M5, they are the key words of the mission statement. Sometimes some institutes, they have that US style of writing the mission where bullets are there. Some institutes write the whole sentence as a mission, continue para type. But in that, there are some keywords like this, all activities we are doing. You just compare your institute vision, your institute mission. Now, all the institutions under their umbrella, they have different departments. Okay. So like we have IT engineering, computer engineering, AI/ML engineering, management courses, diploma courses, like that. We have different departments in the institute. So all the institutes, if institute want to achieve the vision, all department also should go in the same direction. So department designs their program educational objectives. Under department, there are students. Okay. So students also should do all the activities which are aligning with the vision of the department, with the mission of the institute, with the vision of the institute. So they have 12 POs, 3 PSOs. This is a normal, like you can have even 4 PSOs. To develop this attributes into the students, we have lots of subjects, 48, 50 subjects across 4 years are spread out, and we teach those subjects. And all those subjects have course outcome. Like we can say that for each course, there are 6 course outcome, 5 to 6 course outcomes are there. To get this course outcome, like we have one subject. Under each subject, what faculty is doing? Faculty is taking theory class, practical class, tutorial class. So this is a normal practice or normal OBE model which works like this. Why we are doing all this activity? Because ultimately we want that all our students should achieve these attributes PO1 to PO12, PSO1 to PSO3. Department should achieve the vision and mission so that my institute can achieve the vision after 20 years, 30 years, whatever is a timeline defined by the institute authority. As a faculty, our role is that we take one subject and we deliver that subject as a theory, practical and tutorial. Now, one variation here, what I want to introduce is that we can introduce enrichment activities which have a research component as a part of assignments, as a part of self-learning component, as a part of pedagogy, as a part of class activity. So whenever we are teaching theory subjects, theory into the class, or might be whenever we are taking some lab sessions, at that time, instead of taking full theory for 1 hour, we can have this enrichment activity along with the topics. So this is now generating that research component along with the academic. Now let us understand that how I can design the enrichment activity as a faculty member. So let us take the example of one subject. You can parallelly, like if you have a piece of paper or might be some other device, you can also work along with me. So take one subject of your choice, whatever is your subject, whichever branch you are teaching, whatever way, you can take one subject of your choice. So I am taking green IT subject. It is an elective subject of third year IT engineering in our university. You can take any subject because this model is true for mathematical subject, theoretical subject, or might be managerial subject. Now, once you receive the subject will have module and submodule. There will be 6 modules normally, and then there are some small submodules are there, or subtopics you can say every module will have. There are some topics like introduction, algorithms, which are very theoretical in nature. So we can say that when we teach that topic to the student, we are developing their knowledge. But whenever we teach some topic along with the real-time case studies or some kind of different tools, okay, we are developing some skills into the students. And there are some topics which are brainstorming type of the content for the student, higher cognitive level. So that develop attitude as an engineer into the student. So we can divide our syllabus into knowledge base, skill base, and attitude base. If we feel that attitude and skill component is missing in my subject, we can design the activity based on skill and attitude more, and knowledge-based theoretical activity less. So that balance a teacher can achieve. So for this subject, Green IT, it's a name of the subject which I have taken. It has 6 modules. First module is introduction. The second one is software development and data center. Third topic is data storage and communication. Third one is a strategy management matrices. Then green IT services and roles, and then managing the regulations regarding to green IT. So these are the 6 modules for my subject. These are some 6 COs which are defined course outcome for the subject. Even for you, it will be the same, like any subject, whatever you are selecting, it will have 4 to 6 course outcomes. And for my university or my department, I would say that these are the POs. PO1 knowledge, PO2 problem analysis, investigation, design, tool, teamwork, communication skills, professionalism, society, ethics, lifelong learning, finance management, and project management. So these are my 12 POs and these are my 6 COs. Now what we are doing, first, whenever that syllabus is coming, we are doing that COPO mapping. Okay, it's a routine process. So when I have done my COPO mapping, I got a mapping something like this based on all my 6 modules. Now what is the lacuna in the COPO mapping? If we observe very carefully, okay, and when we collide all the subjects of your department, 48, 50 subjects will be there. When you combine all the subjects, majority of the COPO attainment will be up to PO1 to PO5. PO6 to PO11 are not mapped directly through the subject. Have you ever observed this thing that majority of the COPO mapping happens between PO1 to PO5 for majority of the subjects, 48, 50 subjects. When we see as one full Excel, the mapping will come only from PO1 to PO5. Baki ke POs, the rest of the POs are not attained or not mapped. Have you ever observed this in your university or in your department? Have you done this exercise anytime and you have observed that this later POs are not attained? Anyone would like to share or anyone would like to comment on this? Do you also get a COPO mapping like this for your subject? Majority of the time. So now when COPO mapping is like this, and as I said, this is additional thing like knowledge, skill and attitude of the modules you can divide. What you can do now that you start you just give a thought, then by teaching 48-50 subjects to the students, if I'm able to generate only PO1 to PO5, 5 attributes only into the students, what will happen to another attribute, PO6 to PO10 or PO11? What will happen to those attributes? Then normally all the institutes, what they do, they have some other lectures, workshops, skill enhancement activity additionally done for the students so that those POs can be attained. So here through OBAR model, what I am suggesting that it is better to have attainment and mapping of all majority of the POs with your subjects. So now why we want to do better attainment of a PO? Because as I have written here, my POs are defining knowledge, skill and attitude of my students. So like this, different POs are contributing different attitudes into the students or learner. So I want students should be knowledgeable, should be skilled, should be having a good attitude as an engineer. So I want that all PO should be developed. Now, as I said, OBAR model works in the backward direction. So when I got this subject, I decided that end of the semester, I want to produce one good research paper in a journal. That was my target when that subject was given to me. So now you can decide whether you want a paper, you want patent, or you want a poster making activity for your students, or you want any kind of consultancy from your subject. So that final target you have to decide. So for me, when I took this model for the first time, I have decided goal as I will take out one research paper at the end of the semester in some good journal. So I'm showing you what activities I have, how the OBR has been planned. So the module 2 green software is there in the syllabus. Now it was very much clear that I want to produce a paper at the beginning of the semester. So I started referring a few papers from the journal where this green IT subject has been touched in the various journals, standard journals. So I started reading the paper. I started making my own notes on the paper. Now this topic when I was teaching like green software, so it is telling that software is not consuming power, but how much carbon footprint is generated. All those things are discussed under that green software topic. Now, what way the model has been designed? When I was reading the paper, I got this particular paper. It is telling that energy usage for different programming languages. So when I was teaching the students theoretical content given in the syllabus that software is also consuming power, because of software, so much of power, electricity is used, laptops are used, then there is a carbon footprint because electricity we have to use. So that theoretical content when I was giving to students, I come across this paper because I'm reading side by side paper as my target was producing one good research paper. So I got this reference paper. In that they have said that not all the programming languages can be divided into 4 different sections. And this 4 different sections, you can see that there are so many languages. First of all, for me as a faculty also, few languages were very new. I was not knowing what are the strengths and weaknesses of those languages. So the first go, what activity I have designed for the students inside the classroom, that you study all these languages. Like I have divided these languages into three students. They will study one language and they will present that language. So in half an hour time, what happened inside the classroom, that we all come to know about all these languages, what are the advantages, where they are using it, which industry, because they Google. Student Google very fast. So then 3-4 students are given one language and they immediately come out with the knowledge base. So within 1 hour of my lecture, so much of knowledge is gathered, which is there with all the students as a lifelong learning. Now they know all the languages with their advantages and disadvantages. Every student might have spent 10 minutes or 5 minutes, but the knowledge gathered as a whole is huge. After that, in the same paper, there was a table which is telling that if I am using C language to develop any software, I consume 1 unit of energy. But if I use Python, I use 73% of energy, 73 units of the energy. Similarly, Fortran use 2.52, C# use 3.14, PHP use 2.57, JavaScript use 4.59. So when I am giving these numbers to the students started thinking that when I do coding, and that particular coding when used by mass, like I am developing some application of bank where lakhs of people are using that application. So we can imagine that how much more power is used if everything is developed in other language. So they can make that comparative study of power consumption for the same logic developed in different languages. So there is a huge statistical data now with me that to develop this logic, which language is best suitable, and then on the small code we can give the as a researcher we can produce a paper or might be technical article in the college magazine. So we can do this particular activity in the class. So how the activity is designed? First of all, the students are divided into 4 groups. They were given a set of languages, and then that knowledge has been gathered, that which language, what are advantages, disadvantages. Then when students are doing all this activity, we have to evaluate them. So instead of their regular assignment, we can give credit because they are working on the real time. In real time, they are working on some of the problems. So I have designed this particular rubric on different level and evaluate the students. What is the outcome of this particular activity? When the activity is over into the class, when there is a comparative data, huge comparative data has come, that this logic, if we develop in this particular language, how much energy is generated, how much carbon footprint will be generated, and all the students group work on their language and the particular logic. So at the end, we have lots of data and we published a good technical paper in the conference, which has then gone into the journal. So like this, I am not doing much of the effort as a faculty. I'm just showing the way how the data, how the statistics can be generated. And students are working along with me as a faculty. And at the end, what advantage we are getting? We are getting some good technical papers. We are getting articles. We are getting blogs as a faculty, and we can publish that onto the domain, like whichever domain you have selected. After introducing the activity inside the syllabus, not additionally, inside the syllabus during the lecture, might be during your assignment slot, initially, whatever were my COPO attainment, another POs also started attaining because now students are working in group, they are presenting, so that teamwork attribute is attained. Their communication skill has improved. Professionalism as a software engineer, when they go to the company, They can say that I have a knowledge of so many languages, know-how, and this language is best because I am selecting this language for coding. This has this advantage, less carbon footprint, more green code. So that student will definitely have a differentiator in the company, have a better escalations in the future. So in that way, students are getting advantage. You are also getting advantage when we start doing all this activity as a part of OBAR. These are some beautiful posters designed by the students for the competitions. Now here, the topic was multi-threading. And then theoretically we taught, but student went up to the kernel level and find out that actually which way energy consumptions are happening, when we are passing the instructions, which core is becoming active. So this is a huge learning, I would say lifelong learning, which usually is not attained by our theoretical subject in the way only theory we take, then that lifelong learning is not attained. But here students are so much engaged with the topic and they made such a beautiful poster. You can see the students here. Now, which way it has improved the questions like on RBT levels? Because in our question paper, we have to ask the questions. So when the questions are asked to the students, at that time, before implementing OBAR, majority of the questions are on remember and understand level. After that, when we become autonomous, in that year, we started improving slightly. So remember, understand, and then some of the questions on real time also we have asked because we introduced case study in the topic. But after OBAR, I was empowered to ask questions on apply and evaluate because students have worked so much into the class. I was confident that if I will ask question on apply and evaluate level, still they will be able to answer the same. So you can see that I'm going on the higher cognitive level questions for the student. I'm setting better quality question paper and my students are giving better quality answers, like their learning is improving. This is a normal COPO attainment. We can see that prior to OBAR and post OBAR. So initially only 4 POs were there and then attainment is shown here. After OBAR, because these activities are there, the learning mechanism has changed, the outcome has changed. So other POs also have started attainment in the gradual manner. You can see that, and this was for one subject of Green IT. By seeing the success in one subject, we started implementing in another subject. This is for data structure. So at that time, the data structure teacher, what she has done, instead of initially pre and post, so she just asked students how much you are confident, whether you understand this topic or no, something like that. She took a survey. So students were less confident in the subject. And data structure is a subject. Majority of the company placement, the questions are on data structure. So we have to make sure that students are comfortable in this particular subject. So after introduction of the OBAR, the students' response before OBAR, you can see that they were less confident. Only 1 and 2 level, they said that they are confident on level 1, level 2, where 5 is the highest or excellent level. But after implementation of OBAR, when the survey is taken again for the students, you can see this second year IT students, the rating has improved to 4 and 5. They become more confident because now they have understood topic by doing lots of activities designed by the teacher. And teacher have got lots of new case studies for her subject. So as a faculty, acceptance among the students have improved in the next year because now she can give lots of industry oriented problem inside the class, which are preparing students for the placement. So you can see the improvement after the rating in OBAR. This is a third subject where we have done the exercise. This particular subject is information system. The teacher has given as a part of assignment societal and environmental problems, because now NEP is telling multidisciplinary learning. So instead of giving a normal database, they actually went into the society, did a survey and find out that societal environmental problem. And then the attainments have improved by doing this activities of OBAR in the intelligence system subject. The next year we have implemented this into machine learning subject. You can see the PO attainment. AISC subject. This is a comparison of question paper. Like at the end, we are evaluating students' improvement, because as a faculty, we are getting our papers and all. And students, how students are also getting benefit of OBAR. You can see that RBT levels on the left-hand side of table. And 2019-20, before OBR implementation, majority of the questions were on the lower level of Bloom's taxonomy. And after OBR implementation, as I said, I was so confident that we started asking questions on the higher level for the same year. Same third year, we have started asking the questions. Now, one question might arise, okay, but are the students able to answer? So after term test 1, we have done this analysis, and you can see that year on year, after implementing OBAR activities, the students have shown better attainment for their results. And then not only 3 POs, but another POs also started getting attainment. Initially, it was only 3-4 POs, then another POs also started getting attainment. When we have applied this machine learning subject, at that time, 4 teachers were teaching in 2 different classes. And then we decided beginning of the semester that we should, for our content, let us make one book. And at the end, because lots of activities, students have gathered the data, we could publish our book, 2 Scopus paper and 1 patent. Software engineering project management subject also. One research scholar is guided for the novel software engineering model. So lots of brainstorming happen inside the class, and that novel idea has come up, which one PhD scholar has used. And we got an opportunity for consultancy of project management in Indian Navy, where teachers are very much confident because they had lots of material collected, and they went and take that lecture of Indian Navy officers. So if there is some managerial subject, management type of the subject also, because there is a limited time. So you can design the activity, you can float the survey into the market. Students will go take the survey. You will have a good statistical data with you, and you can produce a paper. If it's a managerial subject like entrepreneurship or market analysis, that kind of subject is there. Here we have taken one subject of consumer behavior in D.Y. Patil University, and then it was successful. Then we get lots of appreciation from the industry also. When we explain the students' quality, why it is improving, why students are thinking differently, the industry also have started giving some kind of appreciation letters to teachers. So my final take on this outcome-based academic research model is what? Lots of peripheral knowledge is created when we apply this model inside the class. Skill is improved inside the students, and that attitude as a learner, that attitude as an engineer is developed inside the student. Good quality research papers, books, patent, consultancy, whatever is required for NBA, NEC and NIRF, which was a gap because your institute wanted all this and you were doing teaching learning. So there was a gap. So that gap can be reduced or might be nullified by doing this activity on the regular basis. You can generate new idea, have institute, industry connect. You can apply for grant with the different innovative ideas. Consultancy is always possible. So these are the outcomes when we apply outcome-based academic research model or a framework inside our subject. So this is from my side. Let us bridge the building. Let us bridge that particular gap and achieve the success as a faculty, as a student. So if you have any questions now, I can take the questions.
If you have any questions, you can put it in the chat and ma'am will take it.
I'll take this question. Somebody has asked for healthcare professional sector. So healthcare, like what I understood is a kind of pharmaceutical course, or which kind of course? Healthcare or AI in healthcare? What exactly it is? Neha ma'am, if you can just tell me, I'll just, as a medical and physiotherapy. So suppose physiotherapy is one of the thing, and where you want to apply OBAR and produce your paper. So what happened in physiotherapy? Some of the methodology of handling the tissues or muscles is a subject. I don't know the subject because I'm from engineering background. But if that is a subject where different muscles are uh, different muscle and then their therapies are taught to you, you can have a comparison into the class, because every human body might have a different way of functioning. So you can design some activity. First of all, you have to think that as a subject, what you want. You want a research paper. If you want a research paper, lots of statistical data is needed. Then you refer paper in that particular muscles, and then you say, find out that what kind of data you need, and we can design activity for you. You can design as a part of OBAR, and that data can be collected. So you don't have to put lots of effort as a teacher. Otherwise, it is very difficult to take a survey of 500 people or go to 10 different physiotherapy clinic and got the patient data. But students can go. Okay, so they will go to one clinic and gather the data for you, and then you can compile and you can make paper or blog or whichever way you want to connect. And in this, you will also be connected with lots of practitioners in the physiotherapy field. So you can design this activity, you can do consultancy. Papers are always possible. Qualitative research, like that is what I say. No, when we get a survey results, like in machine learning, whenever we get that qualitative data, which is not number, like it will be good, excellent, poor, that kind of a things are there. We can convert them into the scale, and then you can apply various machine learning models onto it. And then you can achieve some predictive outcome. Qualitative data, when we do qualitative research, it could be market research. Some companies interested into the prediction that how best my product will do. If that kind of analysis is there, definitely we can apply OBAR into it. Teachers, if they are getting less salary or higher salary, research, like when we do as a faculty, like when we also get peripheral knowledge, no, we feel satisfied that, okay, I was knowing only this much. As I have given example, I was just teaching last year also, I have taught ki, okay, when we do software, we consume energy, there is a power plant and there is a pollution. But when I read this paper, when student collects so much of information, I become strong as a teacher because I have so much of peripheral knowledge. So next year, my content delivery, my knowledge, my research outcome, my paper got published. So if your institute is not paying, you become a better teacher, another institute will take you on the higher salary. Okay. So we improve ourselves using this OBAR model year on year. Without machine learning and AI, now era is that all institutions, industries are going in that direction of AI. So somewhere it will be touch if it is a computer science. But if you want, like without any kind of AI algorithms and machine learning algorithm, what you can do is you can work on the kernel level. Like there are operating systems. You can even work on different kind of microprocessors. Like every time we heard that i7, i9, i13, new generations are coming. India also have, Indian scientists, IIT Madras, they have also made one microprocessor. So you can have a study of microprocessor under a computer science. You can work on the hardware side if you don't want to work on the machine learning and AI side. So this is always possible. Like to do a research, the scope is very vast. Because like PO5 to PO8, what is PO5 is tools, like different kind of tools. PO6 is like teamwork, communication skill. Because you have done these activities during your class, you can ask the questions on different tools into which is not a part of syllabus, but you have done into class or as a part of assignment, you can ask question on that. Communication skills, like students have done lots of debate, brainstorming in a class, by which you have improved their communication skill. So in your technical subject, you cannot ask question of communication skill. But whatever debate they have done or whatever brainstorming they have done or role play they have done, based on that, you can ask the questions. No. You work whether in affiliated college or you work in autonomous college. It is a universal framework applied to all the subjects, because this is subject specific. Subject, whether you are affiliated or autonomous, as a faculty, you have to teach a subject. So as a faculty, you see what you want. At the end, suppose you want your paper, or you want to write a very good blog onto the platform, or you want to write some good post into the LinkedIn, you decide. And according to that, you define your activities. That doesn't have to do anything whether it's an affiliated college or university, or you are autonomous or you are a private university. Because at the end, as a faculty, I've shown you that OBAR model, OBE model. So as a faculty, we all have to take one subject and we deliver that subject, theory, practical, assignments. In that, we are doing these variations. So it doesn't have to do anything whether it's affiliated college or it's an autonomous college. Indian Constitution is a infinite thing. You can introduce n number of activities into the Indian Constitution subject. Because Indian Constitution, when we teach to the students, that what are the problems in Indian Constitution, to the new suggestive frameworks of Indian Constitution you can design. So there are lots of forums on which you can publish your idea, which government takes. So even government is also posting whenever they design new framework. Now government is posting that cyber security, they are making some policy. So government is posting those policies onto the platform, and you can uh, combine that policy into an Indian Constitution. That as an engineer, what all policy of cyber security I should know. Give that activity to the students, compile it and post it on that particular forum where government is asking for your feedback and suggestion. So they are giving policy and they are asking citizens to give their view. So definitely on my gov.in, there are lots of avenues for Indian constitutions if you are teaching that particular subject. Mapping will always change after you do the activity. No, initially, if you are not very sure, you can have a normal mapping. But before attainment process, COPO attainment process, you should do the remapping. Because by the time your activities are over, you will have marks in your hand. So before COPO attainment process, you can change the mapping. Political theory, same as Indian Constitution. So sir has given me only 45 minutes. Now I think rest of the questions you can mail me, you can contact me, no issues with that. Thank you so much for having a wonderful session with all of you, interactive session. Thank you so much, Jacob sir, Zibin sir.
Thank you very much, Dr. Kamal Shah. Thank you for the wonderful session. Yeah, I think there are no more questions. I think you have taken on the ball.
Okay, sir. No problem, sir. Thank you so much.
All right. Okay. Yeah. Let's move on to the next session. That will be the next FDP technical session. The topic will be OBE for accreditation in useful ICT tools for assessment. This will be delivered by Dr. Mendes Jacob, who is a professor and director, MCA Marine College, Kottayam, Autonomous. Dr. Mendes Jacob is an academician and entrepreneur with 35 plus years of experience and is the former director of School of Applicable Mathematics, MG University. He's a PhD in operations research and has to his credit a number of national and international publications and guided PhD students in mathematics and computer science. He is also the CEO of IPSR Solutions Limited, an IT company supporting higher education institutions in the implementation of OBE and innovative teaching, learning, and assessment strategies. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Siddin. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you, madam, for your wonderful section. So we are coming to the end of this particular FDP. This is the last section of this 7-day program. In this section, we will discuss about the benefits of OB for accreditation and some best practices, some ICT tools which we can use for implementing OB, and some practical examples how we can incorporate some of the activities into our OB curriculum. So we'll start with the see my screen is visible, no?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So we will skip the introductory slides because already we have discussed all these things. Now coming to the OB implementation part, many participants, they used to ask how we start, where we have to start, and what are the processes involved in the implementation process. First of all, we start with defining the learning outcomes. So we have to identify the desired knowledge, skills, and competencies that students should acquire. These outcomes should align with the program's goals and be relevant to the industry or field of study. So that's the first thing we have to do, defining the outcomes. And based on the outcomes, we have to design the curriculum and assessments. So we have to develop a curriculum that aligns with the defined learning outcomes. And we have to identify innovative teaching, learning, continuous assessment, and evaluation strategies for the better implementation of the OB. So we have to create assessments that measure the attainment of these outcomes, such as projects, exams, or portfolios. See, once if you design the outcomes, then we should have an outcome mindset. To meet or to attain that outcomes, we have to schedule all our activities and assessments. Now, this is the step-by-step process. First of all, we have to have the initial training for the basic concepts like Bloom's taxonomy, the OB architecture, then design of OB, outcomes, how to map it. So this is the first step, a clear understanding of the concept. That is very important because many of the institutions, they lack in the awareness about OB. So that once they design the outcomes or when they do the mapping, there are some mistakes or errors. So that will affect the attainment calculation and the proper implementation of OB. Then preparation of OB manual, that is also very important. Like I think in the LMS, there is a template provided for a OB manual. So you can just go through that OB manual template and you can prepare your OB manual in your institution. That also will be helpful for your accreditation purpose, because once if you start with OB manual, the old manual of accreditation act process, we have the criteria 1 where we can start with OB manual. Okay, then formulation of outcomes, curriculum development and outcome mapping, identifying innovative teaching, learning and assessment methods. Then preparation of outcome-oriented course plans and assessment plans. OB-focused question paper generation, if you have an ICT tool, or if you are using some AI platforms, you can generate question papers or questions using these platforms. So when we implement OB, there is a thinking that the workload of the faculty will increase. So to reduce the workload, we can use some ICT tools and of course the AI platforms. Already we have discussed about the question paper.ai, where you can design the CEOs, you can have the assessment activities, you can create question papers. And today I will introduce another ICT tool where you can generate question papers automatically. No, attainment calculation using ICT tools, because manually it may not be possible. Generating and understanding reports on OB, that is also very important, and analyzing feedback and improvising the process. So this is a cycle. Actually, in the first year, if you start implementing OB, naturally after the reports, you will definitely you will get the feedback and you can improvise the process. Then benefits of OB. It's a clear expectations. Already we have discussed these things. OB provides clarity on what students should achieve, reducing ambiguity. Then students and instructors have a clear understanding of the desired outcomes and can work towards them. So it's a teamwork actually. Both the students and faculty members, they should have clear understanding so that we can work towards the goal. This helps institutions ensure desired levels of knowledge and skills. Already we have discussed about assurance of learning. Helps institutions identify areas for improvement in teaching methods, curriculum, and learning outcomes. So it's a student-centered learning. OB promotes active learning, engagement, and critical thinking. Students take responsibility for their learning and are actively involved in the learning process. So learning becomes interesting for the students. Now, OB, the Q factor in academies. Implementation of innovative teaching, learning, and evaluation methods. Definitely that will improve the quality. Improves quality of teaching, improves quality of learning, improves placements. Then proper implementation of processes, that is the advantage. Naturally, the accreditation ratings will improve. And for a new education policy, OB is one of the key areas. Definitely, it will meet the challenges of NEP. Sorry. Now, going through the different criteria of a NAC accreditation, because for NBA, you need OB everywhere. So regarding NAC accreditation, you can start with the criteria 1. This is the old manual. The new manual is expected maybe in September. So almost most of the criteria are there in the new manual also. So curriculum development and implementation, you can start with the OB manual, as I mentioned earlier. Effective curriculum planning, delivery, and evaluation through well-defined process. So once if we start implementing OB, there should be a well-defined process to support it. Interdisciplinary, interdepartment courses. So all these will add to the attainment of the CEOs, and in turn it will be contributing to the attainment of POs. So certificate
So,
course.
yeah, 1 second. So have you changed the slide, sir? It's still on the first slide.
Oh
OBE.
my God. Okay. Actually, I was changing the slide. Okay.
Okay.
Now,
Now it's changed. Yeah, it's on criteria 1. You can see
Okay.
criteria 1. I think you can put it on presentation mode.
Yeah, it's on presentation mode. Now I have changed it. So these are the slides I already mentioned.
Okay, it's not gone to presentation mode. Mhm.
No, now I have changed it. It was already in the
Oh, okay.
presentation mode. Is it okay now? Is it the
No,
presentation?
still on the slide mode. You can see all the slides on the sides. Mhm.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, actually, I have shared that window, but I think some problem. I'll check once more. Actually, I have shared the window, but it's not coming. Just 1 minute.
Yeah, it's not come. There's no presentation.
Now you can see the presentation, no?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
I'll
it's
make
on
it
criteria one.
presentation mode. Is it in the presentation mode now?
No,
Okay. Okay. In my screen, it is in the presentation mode. So,
okay, here it is. Like,
is it visible? The slide is visible?
yeah, slide is visible.
Okay.
See if you can move the slides. Just move to another slide and see.
Now it
Try
is the
switching.
OB implementation process. Is it there?
No, it's on criteria one only.
Okay.
Ah, okay. Now it's gone to OB implementation process.
Mhm. When I make it in the presentation mode, the slide is not moving. So, okay, what should I do? I will just. Is it visible? Then we will go in
Yeah.
this. Okay. So this is the OB
Yeah.
implementation process. I think somebody has asked to share it again. So we can start with the basic training, then preparation of the OB manual. I already mentioned there is an OB manual that template available in the LMS. Then, as usual, formulation of outcomes, curriculum development and outcome mapping, identifying innovative teaching, learning and assessment methods, preparation of outcome-oriented course plans and assessment plans. Then we can have the OB focused question paper. If you are using ICT tools, you can use ICT tools or AI platforms for that. Then attainment calculation. And after that, generating and understanding reports on OB. That is also important because once if you understand the reports, then only you can improvise the process. If there is some lacking, maybe some outcomes are not attained properly. So in that case, you have to revise the syllabus, maybe revise the curriculum, the coming years. So this is the process. Then we'll come to this. For the accreditation purpose, we have for the NAC accreditation process, we have the criteria 1, where the curriculum development and implementation, starting with that, you have the OB manual. For effective curriculum planning, delivery and evaluation through a well-defined process, interdisciplinary, interdepartment courses, certificate or add-on courses, value-added courses, etc. So this, why we need add-on courses or why we need value-added courses, that is also important. We can mention that in order to meet some outcomes, a particular outcomes, that is the need analysis of adding certificate courses or value-added courses. So usually that is again a question for the NAC accreditation process. Have you done the need analysis? Then students enroll in certificate add-on value-added courses. That is also indirectly connected with the OB. Then project work, field visits, clinical industry internships, research projects, industry visit, community posting. These are all activities which will definitely supplement OB implementation. Then coming to the cross-cutting issues relevant to professional ethics, we can see professional ethics, gender, human values, environment and sustainability. These are areas which come in the program outcomes. Okay. So whenever we have some activity or if you are giving some assignments to the students, we can map all these related activities to the corresponding POs. And in criteria 2, definitely OBE has a lot of contribution to criteria 2. Assessment of the learning levels of the students and organized special programs for advanced learners and slow learners. Last day we have seen the reports, analytical reports, where we can identify slow learners, advanced learners, or outliers, and what are the special programs organized by the institution. So how you have identified them, that is also important. Then student-centric methods to enhance learning experiences such as experiential learning, integrated or interdisciplinary learning. All these are connected with the learning activities. Okay, student performance and learning outcomes, you can calculate the attainment and you can provide it there. Then again, coming to the criteria 3, workshops, seminars and conducted, then number of collaborative activities for research, faculty exchange, student exchange, internship per year, functional MOUs with institutions, consultancy and extension. All these we can connect with the OB, because for each activity you can define outcomes. So in that way, you can bring outcomes everywhere. Even for a criteria 3, for all these activities, what are the outcomes you are expecting? And you can connect it with the respective COs or POs. Here also, if you are having a proper learning management system, like you can implement a LMS or a Moodle LMS. I will also give you some idea about the Moodle LMS in one slide. So that will definitely add value to the learning activities. And nowadays we can use AI platforms also. Capability enhancement and development schemes such as soft skill development, language and communication skill development. These are skill development activities. See, 21st century skills like creative and critical thinking, problem solving. These are directly connected with the new education policy also. In NEP, more focus is there for the 21st century skills. Okay. Then students benefited by training and guidance for competitive examinations and career counseling, placement, self-employment of outgoing students. Placement activities will improve. Placement also will improve once you implement OB the proper way. In criteria 6, implementation of e-governance in areas of focus such as academic planning and development, student admission support, exam everywhere. Here also, when we implement outcome-based education, there should be a proper process in the academic planning and development. Again, for examination also, in criteria 2 also, the exam reforms are coming. There also you can mention about OB. Okay, students undergoing FDPs. No, OB is a best practice. So we have clearly defined learning outcomes. OB emphasizes clear and measurable learning outcomes for students. Then helps institutions ensure desired levels of knowledge and skills. Already we have discussed about it. Assurance of learning as a best practice, you can mention all these things. Focus on student learning. OB focus on student learning rather than just teaching. Institutions can design curriculum and assessments aligned with the desired outcomes. Continuous improvement. OB encourages innovative teaching, learning, continuous assessment and evaluation. Helps institutions identify areas for improvement in teaching methods, curriculum and learning outcomes. Flexibility and adaptability. OB allows institutions to be more flexible and adaptable. Curriculum and teaching methods can be customized to meet individual or group needs. OB as a best practice, again, better preparation for the workforce. OB helps institutions prepare students for the workforce. Students acquire knowledge and skills that employers are looking for, contributes to economic development of the country. So yesterday's section also during Dr. Suresh Nambudiri has mentioned about how it will benefit the country even. When we have skilled people, a lot of activities can be directed in that way. Again, placement will improve. Then identify specific performance criteria for each learning outcome. Use descriptive feedback to provide students with specific information about their performance. Based on these analytical reports, we can provide descriptive feedback to the students. Encourage students to reflect on their learning and use self-assessment to identify areas for improvement. So we have the course and survey, and at the end of the program also we can have a survey. So these are actually benefit the students, like they will reflect on their learning. So for this self-assessment, definitely it will benefit them. So use their portfolios to document and showcase their learning and growth. Use standardized tests or assessments to measure quantitative metrics. Set benchmark scores to measure student achievement against specific standards or goals. Use data analytics to identify trends or patterns in student performance over time. Some of the reports already we have gone through. So use comparative analysis to evaluate the effectiveness of different teaching methods or curriculum interventions. That also is possible. We can have a comparative analysis of the different teaching methods. You can use data visualization tools to present data in a clear and understandable way. Now, coming to digital pedagogy, everybody knows about a 4-quadrant model. When we go for an e-learning, there should be video content, e-content, documents, web links, etc. And the third one is assessments and evaluation. And finally, you need to have a discussion forums. Okay. If you're using a Moodle LMS, all these are there. So we can have you can explore Moodle, which is an open source platform. It's available free of cost. Only problem is you have to host it in a server in your institution. And there are other tools. Most of the tools are there in the LMS, including the videos, description, and everything. So we can load with the suitable contents. If you're going for an online learning, or you can have a blended learning, online plus offline. So that is some of your contents you can add to the Moodle LMS. You can create videos so that we can avoid repetitive tasks. Actually, automation of the process, like some of the contents, maybe if there are 5 units or 5 modules in the syllabus, at least one unit or one module, we can ask the student for a self-learning. So you can upload the videos, the content, and the other tasks. There are education tools like Google Tools, Mentimeter, and Padlet. I think you are familiar with Padlet now. It is there in the LMS. I will just show you 1 or 2 examples how Padlet can be used for our classroom activities, so that we can reduce our workload that way. Then discussion forums, research forum, doubt clearance, etc. Here in this LMS also we have added research forums and doubt clearance. That is for participatory learning or collaborative learning. Then assessments, quizzes, all these things you can add to the Moodle LMS. Then there is a feature of, in the Moodle, that is a workshop activity. That is for peer evaluation. I hope you are experiencing it now. Just you may be designing some course outcomes and you are uploading it in the Moodle, so that the task or whatever uploaded by a particular participant will be evaluated by the other peer participants. So that process is going on. Through this activities, lot of learning will happen. So if you can provide such activities to the students, definitely they will go through different assignments submitted there, so that they can learn more. And lesson activity is again for assurance of learning. I think the first day you had the Bloom's taxonomy, and there was a lesson activity in the LMS where 2 or 3 videos are provided, so that once you can watch the first video, after that there is an assessment, and if you pass the test you can go to the second video, otherwise you will come again to the first video. So in that way, this is a learning activity plus it's an assurance of learning. Then there is a database creation, wiki, all these features are there in the Moodle, and all these are learning activities rather than teaching. So you can start implementing a model like this, because NEP also promotes e-learning. So you can have at least one module or one unit. You can provide it for e-learning, so that the students will go through these contents. Now, this is another example. Just we are doing in our college for the first year MCA students when they start the course, the first semester itself, in the first week itself, we will provide them with a particular activity like this. It is a 56-hour long power-packed creativity enhancement workshop. That means it will be in a holiday, like it will start on Saturday, Sunday, or Monday in 3 days. It is called an AI-powered creative studio. We call it creative studio because there will be 6 tasks. All these are creative tasks. They have to create 2 videos, one using the AI platform. There are posters. They have to design posters, many other things. Okay. There are 6 tasks, and the students will be divided into groups. So each group has to do these 6 tasks. And they will get only 56 hours for learning the entire thing. Even some students, they may not have used Generative AI, so they have to learn it. They have to identify the proper AI tools or AI platforms where they can design the posters or they can create videos. And they have to come out with some creative videos at the end of the 56th hour. So there are a lot of skills they will develop during this process: problem solving skills, time management skills, because time is very less, leadership capabilities, crisis management, because there are in between there will be some crisis like the proper infrastructure may not be available. So we'll create situations like that. Then planning, general management, ethics and behavior, analytical and logical skills, technical skills, communication skills, team skills, all these skills they will develop. And all our POs will be covered by this single activity. So you can just go through our CEOs, all these, our POs, starting with domain knowledge. These are our program outcomes, starting with domain knowledge, then the communicative competence. Without domain knowledge, they cannot do anything. Then proper communication skills they require, because they have to communicate in the team and they have to present the task once they complete in front of the audience. The proficiency in using modern technologies nowadays, they'll be comfortable with the AI platforms. Reflective response to ethical and social issues. The videos they create usually that will come under this particular area. Some social issues they have to identify and they have to create videos on it. Then sustainability values, they should be thorough with the SDGs. Then critical thinking and problem solving, it is there. Entrepreneurship and leadership skills, teamwork, self-directed and lifelong learning, because they have to learn by themselves. Most of the things, even some students, they don't know how to create video. So all these things they will be learning in this 56 hours. It's a funny activity. At the same time, they are enjoying it. They could not even sleep for 5 or 6 hours during these days, but they'll be tuned with the to face challenges in future. And also they will be thorough with the POs first, the first week itself. Okay, so these are some examples where we can incorporate your activities, and you can connect it with the POs or even with the CEOs. Now, coming to the next part, I will definitely I will show you how we can use Padlet for our teaching learning activity. That is an interesting tool. I think you have gone through this Padlet. Padlet is a free tool. You can you can go to padlet.com and you can sign up for free using your Gmail, or you can have your password or something like that. I will just show you an example how I am using it. Now, when you go to padlet.com and if you sign up, this is the home page. This is a paid version I'm using because I'm using it for many purposes. You'll get it free. See, for example, if you need to have only 2 or 3 Padlets, you can use without any payment. These are some of the Padlets I have already created. I will show you one example where I'm using this for giving assignment to the students. I hope my screen is visible now. Is it okay?
Yes, sir. Yeah, screen is visible.
Okay, this is an activity. You can just read it. Identify a problem, because I'm teaching operational research. The students has to identify a problem. They have to develop an OR model and find the solution. So they have to identify a problem from the real life situation where OR can be applied. Operational research can be applied. Then they have to create a model out of it. Create a PPT and upload it. Finally, you can create a video. This is the task. This is a cardinal activity. Cardinal activity means continuous assessment, deep learning. That is one of our continuous assessment activity. And the marks are divided like this. The quality of the problem. So 20%, model formulation 20%, solution 20%, PPT and video 40%. So while creating the PPT and video, they should have thorough knowledge about this particular concept. Otherwise, they cannot create a video. And every problem, this is very important, every problem should be unique. If there is duplication, it will be rejected. And they can upload the problem first, then the PPT with the script, and finally the video. This is a process. So usually when we give assignments to the students, maybe we will be giving a last date for submission. So in the last date, all the students, they will submit the assignment only maybe the last hour. And many of the submitted assessments may be copied from somebody else. So this is the usual practice. No, in this case, this Padlet, it is transparent. We can make it public so that every student will be seeing all these things. Now, this is a task I have given. In 1 hour, I got the first assignment submitted. The first assignment submitted. You know why? Because once if a student submit an assignment, the other student cannot copy this because this is transparent. This is visible to everybody. So the second student will submit another one. Likewise, you can see the submissions will be there. And the same day itself, I got all the submissions. By 10 o'clock in the night, the last student also submitted. And the interesting fact is, the lazy fellows, they have to go through all other assignments, all other topics submitted, and then only they can submit their assignment, because otherwise there will be duplication. So if there is duplication, it will be rejected. So this is one example where we can reduce our workload, like they will submit the assignment. It may not be copied from somebody else because all these are visible for everybody. So I will appoint some teaching assistant from the same class, and I'll ask the teaching assistants. I was appointed 2 students, and I asked them to evaluate all these assignments submitted. And I asked them to rank from 1 to 60. Okay. And afterwards, at the end of the semester, I will have a viva for all these activities. This is one of the activities. The same way, I will give them many other assessment activities like this, assignments or small projects or something like that. So that at the end of the semester, I will have a viva for a 1 full day, and I will evaluate each and every student. And based on the report of the teaching assistants also, that I will incorporate. So when we implement outcome-based education, you need a lot of activities, lot of assessments also. So using such tools, you can reduce the workload. Okay. So Padlet is a very good tool for providing assignments or assessments activities like this. So these are my Padlets. I'm using it for all my online teaching learning activities. Okay. Even I can give you another example. This is a Padlet where I ask every student to provide their details. So there's short profiles are there, the photos they can upload, so that whenever I want to meet them, I can just go through the profile. So you can understand
that hasn't changed. You changed it?
Yeah, it's not visible.
No, it's still on that OR cars task one.
Okay, I will. Is it visible?
Yeah, now it's
Okay. So this is another partlet I already mentioned, that tell about yourself. So the students will share their profile, their photos, the details about their studies, everything. So that whenever I meet the students, I can go through this profile and we can understand each and every student in a better way. Padlet has a lot of other benefits. I think there is a video on Padlet and the how Padlet can be used effectively. Creative ways of using Padlet. Yeah, that is there in your LMS. This is the one. Creative ways of using Padlet for education. So there's a lot of ideas. And some of the participants suggested many ideas like this. This is also available there in the LMS. I think that slide is not changed. Okay, let's stop sharing once again. So that's about this Padlet tool. Now I will share you another ICT tool which can be used for your examination purpose. See, if you're a university or a autonomous colleges, you will be conducting exams. And conducting exams means it's a huge task, especially for the controller's office. They have to identify the question paper setters, then collect the question papers, then typesetting, many other activities and logistics issues are there. So you can avoid those logistics issues, and even you can cut short your expenses, and you can definitely create a quality question bank which can be used for generating question purpose at the time of examination. Okay, I will just show you an application. This is also being developed by us, identifying the pain points of the faculty members. This is an application where we can generate a question paper in less than 1 minute. Okay, I hope this dashboard is visible.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, this is the controllers dashboard. I will show you how we can generate a question paper, and I'll just give you an idea about the benefits of this application. See, for example, these are some of the courses available. These are the question banks available, and with the questions numbers. This question bank contain 161 questions, or another question bank 75 questions like this. Suppose I want to generate a question paper out of this basic electronics course. There's a history policy. History policy means if you're using this year, the question bank this year for generating question paper, next year, if you don't want to repeat any of the questions generated this year, you can set the history policy like that. And there will be a blueprint. There will be a blueprint like this. That means each question from which section. See, for example, question number 1 usually comes in the first part, or section A, or section 1 of the question paper. So you can set a blueprint like this. Then it should come from unit 1, or what should be the taxonomy level, what should be the importance level, difficulty level, etc. So the question bank, all these questions are there, and based on the blueprint only, the question paper will be generated. Now we have generated one question paper. We can generate 2 or 3 question papers like this, and the controller's office can check the the structure of the question paper without seeing the questions. That also is possible. How it is, whether it is matching with the blueprint or not. Here it's not properly matching with the blueprint because in some criteria there are no questions. The question bank is only demo question bank. Otherwise, this will be perfectly matching. So I'll show you how the question paper will look like. The controller's office will just give the question paper code. The header, footer, and everything is already there. So the question paper you can generate in 1 minute, or the each and every question mapped with the Bloom's taxonomy levels and the course outcomes. This is an example of a question paper. Okay. Similarly, we can generate, I will generate one more, maybe of mathematics. So here we'll get a question paper of mathematics, discrete mathematics out of this question bank. So with the symbols, mathematical equations, everything is there. So you can avoid all these logistics issues, then even reduce the cost also. So this is an example, and here the faculty can add questions, and every faculty will be involved in the preparation of the question bank. So we usually provide training to the faculty members how to frame quality questions, so that everybody will be comfortable with the Bloom's taxonomy and mapping of COs, course outcomes with the questions with the COs, questions with the Bloom's taxonomy levels. Every faculty will be involved in the process so that everybody will be comfortable with them. And that will be the first step for the implementation of OB. Because once if you are thorough with the concepts, then it's very easy. Otherwise, just only the attainment calculation will be done, maybe based on some wrong mapping or wrong processes. That will not be any connection with the actual attainment. So it's better if start with the preparation of question bank, preparation of quality questions. Definitely, it is a challenge. The IIT Goa has conducted an examination during the COVID time. They asked every student to frame questions and answer the questions framed by that particular student itself. So every student can frame questions, maybe 5 or 6 questions, and they can answer for that particular questions framed by the particular student. And the marks are awarded based on the quality of the questions framed by that student. So framing questions is definitely important. I hope during Dr. Suresh Nambudiri's section, he has mentioned about asking questions that will definitely improve the creativity and critical thinking process of the students. So that's about this tool. So I have introduced some earlier some tools, and now also this is another one which can be used for the controller's office for conducting exams and all. Now, I hope if you have any questions, you can ask. Maybe if you have any clarifications regarding Bloom's taxonomy levels or a mapping process or a design of COs, or even the LMS, if you have any doubt, or the AI application, if you have any doubt, you can ask. I think there is a question, difference between a valued course and a certificate course. So there are 3 types of course. One is add-on course, the other one is valued course, and third one is the certificate course. The add-on course means it is a course designed for 30 hours. Both add-on course and valued courses should be of duration minimum 30 hours, or that can be equivalent to 2 credits. Okay. Then add-on course means it is connected with a particular subject or the program which the student is studying. Value-added course means it's a value addition to the course. It can be a different subject. For example, if you can say history students, if they are going for a data analytics course, that is considered as a computer course. So that is a value-added course for the history student. Okay. Whereas a computer science student going for for example, a data marketing course, that is an add-on course. That's the difference. A certificate course means even the autonomous colleges or universities, they can design certificate courses that can be of duration maybe 2 credits, which can be offered outside also, not the students outside the institution. We can offer that. But add-on course and value-added courses will be offered only for the in-house students. Okay. I hope, sir, it's clear for you. Is it possible to map technical subjects to ethics? That depends. You know, if you incorporating some ethics into the technical subjects, it's possible. As a part of the course, see, for example, ethical issues in a particular subject, like ethical issues in programming. Programming is a technical subject. If you can address those ethical issues in the programming, you can add it to the course also, so that we can map it with the PO. How to find quick publishing UGC listeners in the area of marketing and management. Okay, sorry, I have to refer it. Okay, it's better you approach your librarian, because I'm also doing like that. Is an indirect question. Okay. Better if you connect with your librarian, because they are more familiar with all these journals. Does the free version of Padlet allow students to share their profile, etc.? Yeah, the free version means I understand that you can create 2 or 3 Padlet. See, in my Padlet dashboard, you have seen more number of Padlets I can create. It's unlimited, okay, because it's paid version. Otherwise, you can have 2 or 3, so that, you know, once if you want one more, you have to delete one. And I think the payment is also very less, around 1,500 rupees in a year or something like that. Is there a difference between learning objectives and outcome, and course objectives and outcome? Definitely. Objectives means usually earlier we write course objectives in the beginning of the syllabus. Objective in the perspective of the teacher. Outcome is the perspective of the student. There is a difference. Objective means if you start a statement like to do something, or to start with to, these are objectives, whereas outcomes will start with the verb, action verbs. Thank you, Lakshmi Madam, for your feedback. Okay, I hope you are comfortable with the LMS also. You can go through these the contents, the task and assignments there. You can submit it. You will get more time for that. You can maybe another 8 or 10 days you will get it. So you can complete it and you can download it. Mr. Sijin will brief you about how we can download the certificates and all. Humanity students getting job through competitive exams, how can be PO, PSO mapped? Getting job through competitive exams, how can be PO, PSO mapped? Whether it is humanity or any other subject, mapping process is same. So you'll be mapping COs with the PO and COs with PSOs. Already I have explained during that time. Only thing is, mostly you will map COs with the POs. So what is the relationship between a particular CO and a PO? Based on that, you can map it. Okay, thank you, sir, for your feedback. Yeah. Sir, for mapping, I think you just to go through that video once again. The mapping process is explained. And if you have want any clarifications, you can contact me. My phone number, I think I have shared last day. Otherwise, I will share today also. This is my phone number. This is a WhatsApp number, so you can contact me if you have any further doubts.
We have also posted the feedback form, which you can comment on the LinkedIn. There is also a feedback in the LMS also. Okay, you have to fill that.
I hope you can wind up for today. If any clarifications required regarding the topics we have covered, you can contact me on your phone number. Okay, thank you all for your patience. Thank you.
Thank you, Mendra sir. Thank you for that wonderful session. Just to remind you all, I will just tell you about your certificate. Please note your LMS is accessible till the 11th August 2024 midnight. Okay. Now the certificate will be available to download in the LMS from Monday, that is 5th August. And you need to complete all the activities, tasks, and the feedback form that is there in the LMS. Okay. Now, if you need any support to LMS, I will give you a WhatsApp number. You can call WhatsApp or you can call that number. And if you need any assistance, you can contact them. So make sure you complete all the tasks and activities and also the feedback form before 11th August so that you can download the certificate. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for attending this FDP. We would like to thank both the colleges. We would like to thank the IQC of Vasireddy Venkatadri Institute of Technology, Guntur, Andhra Pradesh, and the IQC of Siddaganga Institute of Technology, Tumkur, Karnataka, for actually organizing this FDP in association with IPSR Solutions Limited. And I hope you all enjoyed this national level online faculty development program, which covered on outcome-based education and application of generative AI in teaching and research. And thank you all for those who have attended this FDP. Thank you for taking that effort and time to attend all these 7 days of the FDP. If any of you have missed any of the FDP sessions, they are available in the LMS. If you have the access to the LMS, please refer them. And there are also activities and tasks corresponding to each of the topics for the particular day. Please do try to complete them so that you can understand more of the topics. Thank you, everyone. And we would like to wish you all a good evening.